Welcome to another episode of the Terry and Frank Show. Today we're going to start with a couple introductions. Ter, you're up first.
Hello, everybody. My name is Terry Mays, and I am a certified culture engineer. I've been working here lately, focusing in on bringing out the value in business organizations through respecting and honoring the human side of business. So, learning how to use different tools to help businesses drive value and get the most out of the people that they're working with.
God, what could be more important than that, right? That's a great workplace. I'm Frank Wander. I'm the founder of People Productive. I just happen to be the IT guy who got incredibly fascinated in the human side of IT, read all the research, and realized that IT failure was actually related to the fact that people in IT knew everything about technology and processes and nothing about the people. It's everything. It's how you create great teams, great workplaces, and
Right.
great results. So we've been running a series on people unproductive. Terry, what are we covering? Our final people unproductive personality type this week, right? What is it?
So this last personality type is all about being right. So Mr. Right, Ms. Right, the person that you're working for that has been there, done that on every single thing, they know it all.
Yeah, God, hope to never work with one of them again. And we're starting a new series next week. I hope you tune in. We're moving on to belonging for everyone. So the People Productive series is giving way to much more productive personality types. And we're going to start with what is belonging. Tune in. I think you'll be surprised. So
Yes.
there, let's get into Mr. and Mrs. Right. What do you think?
Yes. That personality that, no matter what you say, no matter what's happening, they've already experienced it. They already know the answer. No matter what question you have, they come up with something. They're always right. They're never wrong. They never can admit that they got it wrong. They feel that, and it's really, that vulnerable. They're not able to do that. They're just really not able to be transparent and let you in a way that allows you to say or to share or to be the person with the answer or to be the person that's right. They always want to dominate that attention and have that focus on them as they are the one person that is the one that knows everything.
Oh, yeah. They're just screaming to be somebody. They have to
Yeah.
be somebody it's going to become by out knowledging you. I've always found these people to be the worst listeners, actually. 'Cause
Right.
not only they have to be right, the minute you start talking, they sense where you're going and they spend the whole time formulating a quick answer to prove
Right.
it wrong, right? So
Right.
annoying. And they're not listening. So
Right. They're not listening to you at all. They
yeah,
are actually formulating their rebuttal to the first thing that they heard you say. So you could have actually been saying something completely different as the conversation went on, but because they checked out and went into their own headspace to start formulating an answer, they missed what you said. They really missed part of it. So you'll get those responses in that time where you started off in one direction and you shifted gears, but they never did because they weren't listening. So they come back with a response that really doesn't match the where you are in the conversation. And it's
yeah,
actually kind of funny.
yeah. And there's a lot of different forms of people, wanting to be right about something. So this is not cognitive dissonance where it's painful to be wrong. This is you just got to be right, right? It's your
Right.
insecurity. You're going to be right about everything. They don't listen. They're some of the
Yeah.
most annoying people, and they can be bosses, and they're
Yeah.
extremely unproductive. But they could be a coworker too. How
Mhm.
horrible. I've worked with these people. Come to meetings, they're not helpful. They're disruptive. Actually, they don't listen to even a group of people.
Yeah. I think you hit the nail on it. It's really insecurity.
Yeah,
um, that person is just really struggling for with their identity and who they really are in a place where they feel like, we're going to talk about belonging, but they're looking for that place where they belong, and they're very insecure. They feel like they have to do something to manufacture a space to belong, so they start to be that know-it-all type, that's just
yeah.
they've always got to have the answer. They've always got to, they make something up, even if it's not right. They don't care. because they want to be that person that's controlling everything.
Yeah. And, it's never that, they heard you and they're evaluating. It's that you don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Even if you have a very cogent answer or opinion about something, you still don't know what you're talking about. So they're dismissive. No, no,
Right.
that's
Right.
ridiculous. Right. So they try to make you go away by making you feel like a fool.
Right. Yeah, it's that real know-it-all, that one that just sometimes you can't even get a word in edgewise in the conversation. They just dominate the conversation because they think that they're right and that they know everything. So they don't really want to hear your opinion. They don't really want to understand your perspective. They're they have no empathy, so they're not trying to see anything from anybody else's point of view.
Mhm.
They're just right and they know they're right and they're just waiting for the rest of the world to catch up to how right they are.
Yeah, and they'll never, ever, ever, say they were wrong. It's that lack of vulnerability, like you said earlier. They'll never come in and do the apology like, "Guys, I took a hard stand on that, but you're right." No, no,
Yeah,
no. Uh-uh. No,
yeah,
I was right, even though you went in the other direction. You should have listened to me, blah, blah, blah. And heaven forbid the group makes a choice that wasn't theirs, even if they were wrong and it's not perfect, they'll be later, should have listened to me, told you.
yeah.
Right?
Very insensitive, very insensitive.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
forever seeking that at proof that they're right, every little thing that happens. I told you.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're that one that's gonna say, I told you so.
I told you so. You should have listened to me. You had your chance. I'm always right. Ha ha.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, a lot of times you really do want to try to understand where this insecurity is coming from. You want to try to understand why do they feel like they have to be right all the time? Why do they feel like they cannot be wrong and that somebody can't know something that they don't? That's usually some source of insecurity. And if you
Yeah.
can try to help identify that, you might be able to help this person come out of this space where they have to be right all the time. But
I
that
think
requires relationship and trust.
that requires relationship and trust. And generally, I think it requires a receptivity. So
Right.
something happened to them, which is impacting, their success, which makes them receptive to suddenly opening their eyes and being a little more vulnerable and maybe listening. Because if they can be vulnerable, they could actually begin to overcome and correct this issue.
Yes. Yes. This is absolutely an issue that you can overcome. You don't have to stay in this place. Again, I think a lot of these personality types, we've talked about this, where you really can change if you do the work. You've got to be willing to do the work and you've got to be willing to be honest with yourself and know that nobody can be right all the time. Nobody, not a single one of us has all the answers all the time. None of us are perfect. So you've got to be able to be honest with yourself and be open enough with other people to
Yep.
say, you know what, I was wrong and own it. Own what you know and what you don't know, because you'll be surprised once you begin to show your human side. So, we've been talking about that human side of business.
Yeah.
Once you show your human side, it really frees other people to do the same thing. And now you're able to really accomplish something much greater than this false sense of knowledge and security. It's really just a false sense because while the know it all, the Mr. Right, Miss Right person feels like they are right all the time, everybody knows that they're not.
That's
So it's
yeah.
just it's just a false sense of security for them.
On the money. It's actually diminishing them. They think
Yeah,
they're actually presenting a stronger, better self, but in fact, they're diminished because
right,
everybody sees through it. People say this person doesn't listen. They have to be right all the time. They see through it immediately,
right,
immediately.
right.
So, if you're a know-it-all and you're listening, everybody knows who you are. And,
Yes,
take the opportunity to really think about it, do some introspection and dig deep and be vulnerable. You don't have to be right. It doesn't matter. Be right when you're right, be wrong when you're wrong. It's okay.
right.
It's really okay. And it's better. It's an easier way to live life.
It really is. There's got to be a lot of stress trying to have the answer all the time and trying to be right all the time. We
Oh,
all fall in and out of that, a sense of that where we want to do a good job. You want to have the right answers. You don't want to tell people the wrong thing. But there's a line between that person and this person that feels like they just must be right all the time. Like you really do have to realize that's just not normal. That's not human. We are human
no.
beings. So we're going to make mistakes. We're not going to have the answers all the time. We're going to do something wrong and we're going to offend somebody. That's just the
That's
nature
learning.
of being human. And
Yeah,
that's okay. It
it's a
really is
learning
okay.
mechanism, right? I mean, if you
Right.
can't be vulnerable and you can't be wrong, you're not gonna learn anything.
Not going to learn a thing.
No.
Because you've gotta get more comfortable, and, this is just something that I'm learning myself, but you've gotta get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You've gotta get more comfortable with having those conversations and being in those situations where you don't know. But, one of the really nice things about not knowing is you get an opportunity to grow and you get an opportunity to learn something new. So if you own it that I don't know, but hey, let me go do some research. Let me go ask some questions. Let me go talk to this person because I know that they really know the answer to this question. And then you can learn something new instead of just this facade of I know everything and I'm right all the time. You really leave yourself with not a whole lot of room to grow.
Yeah, and I would make one other comment on this. In this new era, which is moving so fast and things are changing so quickly, know-it-alls have never had a shorter half-life. You can't be a know-it-all for long in this world. You can't companies can't afford to keep a know-it-all around. Years ago, things didn't move that fast. Know-it-alls could exist for a while. Maybe they could even get promoted. No more. It's over. If you're a know-it-all, your days are numbered. That's it. We're in a new
Yeah,
world where things are agile, resilient, moving fast. There is no room for the know-it-all. And I think that's one of the great things about this new world of work that's more open and transparent, where the human side is rising. And
right. Right. Because ultimately, that know it all is really not a know it all. They really don't have the skill sets, they don't have the knowledge that they need. And as long as you stay in that space and play that game with the facade on, you're going to stay in that place where you don't know it all.
that's
But
right.
you gotta get to a point where you can be vulnerable enough to say, I don't know. Let me go find out.
That's right. I think, our final advice to them is join the rest of us who are people who don't know it all. And I'm happy
Yes,
not knowing it all. I think it's great. Um,
yes,
so anyway, Tara, next week we're going to be doing belonging for everyone, digging into belonging. I think everybody should tune in. It's going to be an
yes,
interesting episode. We're going to start with what is belonging? What is it actually?
yes.
And you'll be surprised. It's not what you think it is.
That's
Anyway, Tara, parting thoughts, comments.
so, Mr. Right, Miss Right, go ahead and lay down your crown and let somebody help you. Be honest with yourself, open up, find that one person you can really be vulnerable with and say, "Hey, I really don't know. Would you mind helping me?" Let someone else into that scenario with you so that you can grow together. Take this opportunity as a time for learning and not just a time to be shy or, push back and think that you know it all. Let somebody help you to actually grow.
Yeah, that's right. Grow. Be an honest achiever. Listen, see you next week. Take
All
care.
right. Bye
Bye.
bye.